Does classical music relate to heavy metal? Hey, I'm Eric, a university music professor, a lifelong metalhead, and the co-host of the Heavy Metal 101 podcast, and I have lately been rocking out to the fabulous new Fleshgod Apocalypse album, symphonic death metal from Italy. So great! And as both metal and classical music are so near and dear to my heart, it got me reflecting on the history of the intersection between these extraordinary musical genres. Now, it seems obvious that these go together just absolutely beautiful, starting with symphonic death metal bands like Therion and collaborations like Metallica's S&M. It's abundantly clear that heavy metal and classical music work together. But what about the inception of metal? Was that a new thing come the 90s? It was not. In the earliest heavy metal, Deep Purple, one of the great proto-metal bands in 1969, released the album Concerto for Group and Orchestra, the first project of the Mark II lineup. And that synthesized elements of a live symphony orchestra and a live proto-metal band playing some remarkably heavy music for 1969. Of course, true virtuosity of the classical persuasion comes to heavy metal in the later 70s in the person of the great Eddie Van Halen, who was a trained classical pianist throughout his entire youth and brought that technique and that know-how to the heavy metal guitar with his various extraordinary techniques. And from then and there on, the influence of classical music, virtuosity, the elegance of the violin concerto meets the shredding metal guitar solo of people like Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Steve Vai, a million others. And you have a beautiful synthesis of two of the most exciting musical styles in the whole history of the world: heavy metal and classical music. You want to learn more? Come on by to the Heavy Metal 101 podcast and check out the history of metal and its intersection with classical music and a zillion other things. We'll see you there.